What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Spencer.
I'm Eli.
I'm Cheese.
And I'm Wazelbolt.
And this is Bardic Blunders. We got two guests on today.
Woo! I'm here to cause problems and only problems.
Oh, you think this show is anything but problems? It is exclusively problems.
I mean, I've been watching for a while, so I would know this.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, we have two surprise guests today. They're not on the graphic because they were guests after I made the graphic and I didn't have enough time to make a new one. So, we ball. But today, we have some interesting news today. We are once again talking about Stop Killing Games. The seemingly non-ending conversation on this thing. As of right now, we'll do a signature check. And the website's broken again. Okay, there we go. 1,273,000 signatures. The estimate to cover for the fake signatures is we need 1.4. We still have till the end of July, so there's a good chance we hit that, but gosh, it is baffling how that went from literally like 14 days ago. This isn't going to pass because it's only at 49% to now we're almost 3 million past the goal. That's bonkers.
What was the original goal?
1 million.
1 million.
They need 1 million signatures to get it put into Parliament, to EU Parliament. So, and it's not like not a GoFundMe, a petition thing over here in the US where it's just like you're essentially just like, okay, hey, I have 5 million signatures on my petition. It's like, all right, yeah, might as well just go wipe your ass with it because it's literally worthless. Over there, it actually means something.
Yeah.
So. But they have people who might not be from the EU or might have botted signatures, signed it with a VPN, whatever. So they have to get extra signatures to cover for all that. And there's also apparently a good number of signatures that have just had people typo their names. So, so yeah, I can't believe that's 100%. An issue. But yeah, now the big villain in this whole situation for the longest time was Pirate Software. Everybody was dogging on Pirate Software.
Don't worry, guys. He's been promptly executed.
He is set up for for summary execution and no, okay. I mean, internet execution. I haven't checked his subs in a little bit, but I'll
check him right now.
He was dropping. He was at 2.55 before the controversy. He is now at 2.44. So he's lost 110,000 subs off of this. Now, I'll reiterate one last time. I don't think he's super evil. I think he is egotistical, and he made his statement, and he didn't want to go back on it. But if he were to say, hey, you know what? I messed up and apologize for it, or, at least stop being such a tool about the whole situation. Even if he holds the opinion that Stop Killing Games is bad, if he stops being a tool about it, fine. I'm more than willing to rescind some of my comments. What's up, Reaper? But he's not the main villain anymore. Now, the Video Games Europe is cropping up to try and counter this. They come in with this statement, which I will did I save the screenshot? I can't remember. I have a thing that says what all the participators in this Video Games Europe is, but it'll
hold on. I think I also just found that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm
got
it.
Mine. Because I was gonna say, so it will show. Oh yeah, on their website, our membership, it'll show just why this statement is terrible.
you have like the obvious companies that you would think would be against this. Your Activision Blizzards, your Ubisofts.
Epic.
Yep. Epic.
Somehow
Yeah.
they've got some streaming services here, which is crazy.
Yay,
Well,
Netflix.
Netflix has some games on it now, which is weird.
It
Yeah,
does, but part of the reason they want to do this is because the same thing that would affect video games could start spreading to movies as well. And Netflix just destroyed some of their exclusive things for like Black Mirror. There was a Black Mirror interactive thing that Netflix just deleted and now is considered lost media. So
Damn.
yeah, absolutely. There's a reason they're supporting that. But Nintendo, Riot Games, Sega, Roblox, Sony Entertainment, Square Enix, Supercell, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, ZeniMax, like Take-Two.
Literally the entire AAA space.
Yes, a like 95% of the AAA space is on here, and
I will
it's
say
the
this right now.
usual
I called
suspects.
it last week.
What?
I called it last week. I
Yeah.
said that this was going to be the issue with it.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing. The issue with it is that they don't want this to pass because it's bad for them.
Oh,
They-
yeah, that's what I said last week. That they don't want it to pass, and they will make sure it doesn't pass here in America.
Oh, they can make sure it doesn't pass in America, but there's not the same kind of issues lobbying like in over in Europe. So the thing is, and also I've looked it up, Eli. The European Union is the third largest market in the world. It makes up 16% of the global economy, pretty much. So that is a big
One
market.
being Asia.
The 1 and 2 are America and China.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, China's
So-
big enough to have its own market.
Yeah, China's massive.
Yeah.
But my one thing with that is it's like it's the United States, which is a single country, then it goes to China, which is a single country, and then it goes to Europe, which is a conglomeration
Well,
of different countries.
Yes.
That's mainly because of how the European Union functions.
That's true. Each of the countries. Think of it this way, Eli. Each of the countries in the European Union are essentially like the states in the United States. They operate on their own
Yeah, I
government,
know.
but they have the European Union that's like the federal government over here.
Why
Yeah.
don't they just rename it the European Coalition? Make NATO their... Kick the United States out of NATO, make it their military... Oh, they can't do that because the United States makes up like 70% of NATO.
I was gonna say.
Do you know how much of NATO the U.S. is?
I was gonna say, kick the U.S. out of NATO, then there's no NATO. Oh my god!
It's just toe.
Yes. On.
I
Europe-
fixed the problem, everybody. No more United States.
more
What?
United States. What?
You did what?
You created a problem.
Russia's coming now.
Prom, you said you were looking for that quote that the European Union.
Oh yeah, I've got
European
it. I've
Game
got
Union?
it.
Yeah.
Video Games Europe put out this statement on Stop Killing Games. We appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. Private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players, as the protections we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would leave rights holders liable. In addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be online only. In effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these video games prohibitively expensive to create. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our position with policymakers and those who have led the European Citizens Initiative in the coming months. In other words, we don't like this.
We don't want to spend
and
more money.
We don't want to spend more money, and we want to make more money by making
That
it
was-
so you can't keep playing the games that we've put out because we want you to buy the new one.
Okay, if I may say, that was the fanciest fuck you I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, no,
Exactly.
100%. Well, and I love the fact that they blatantly lie. The industry ensures players are given fair notice of prospective changes. Ubisoft told the players of the crew that they had 3 months before the game was dead. Multiple other companies have not given any warning whatsoever and are just like, that game's gone. Like, pulling the plug. Private servers are not always a viable alternative. Hey, why don't we talk to Activision, who actively has multiple Call of Duty games on the Steam store and had to just pull a Call of Duty game off the Xbox Game Pass because they had vulnerabilities that was causing people who played online to get hacked. Yeah, it sounds to me like they do a great deal to protect their players. That is a load of just straight sewage that they're spewing onto this page. They're lying through their teeth. Oh, we care about the consumers. No, you don't. You care about their money. And this initiative scares you because if this initiative is enacted, players don't have to be like, well, you know, Glorp Quest 1 just vanished, so now I have to buy Glorp Quest 2. Oh, I've played that for a year. Oh, they just took away
Quest 1 remastered.
Glorp Quest 2. Now I have to buy Glorp Quest 3 because I can't play the old ones. And I legitimately, and I guarantee one of the things they want is to target younger generation, get them used to not owning, so the concept of keeping old games isn't even a thing that exists to them. What do you mean owning? I've never owned a game. I've subscribed to a service so I can play them. Like,
that is entirely why I believe piracy should not be a crime.
Oh, no, see that I mean, how long have I been saying that? If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing.
Internet piracy.
You want to hear something that
Internet piracy.
You are in the back.
Real piracy, like on the 7 seas and in space, very different.
The pirate software that I'm mentioning is not the person. It's a statement. Pirate software. Do it.
Do it. No balls.
No balls. We got Cheese and we got Razorbolt in the call, along with the typical suspects.
You
know, your usual two buffoons.
Usual, yeah.
The usual idiots. Which is Eli and then Spencer just with his whip.
But on the
Eli, don't say that. Eli, stop saying that. I'm muting you. Eli, you can't make comments like that. Women are people too.
Owning games.
Eli, don't lie to our viewers.
Oh boy.
Okay. On the topic of not owning games, have y'all seen what Xbox is doing with the Outer Worlds 2?
No, I have not.
Nope.
Enlighten me.
No.
They are not releasing a physical copy of the Outer Worlds 2.
Oh, of course.
At all.
Why would you?
It is only going to be digital and...
But that's like taking it in. That's a lost market right there. Do you know how many people buy the physical copies just for the case?
Do you know how many people are probably also not going to buy it because of this? And how it sets a new precedent for the gaming industry?
It's them. It's the continuation of the Ubisoft CEO saying gamers need to get used to not owning their games. They don't want you to own the games, so they can. It's the same idea as planned obsolescence. That so much of the tech industry, not just the tech industry, every industry, they don't want your car to run. There's like, you buy a car post 2015, even post 2010 usually, and there's things put in place to keep you from fixing it because they want you to bring it in, so they have to fix it for you, which is why they do all these.
Are you talking about your car?
Yes. Yes, my car has I can do most of the work on my own car, but I can't check the freaking transmission fluid because the only way to access it is on the side of the transmission. You have to have one of those
That's
actual
insane.
I was having a conniption outside of work when I discovered this. Like I'm typically so low key, and one of my friends from work, she's like getting out to clock in. I have a bit before I have to clock in because I showed up early, and I was looking. I'm like, "Where's the dipstick for the transmission fluid?" And I'm looking it up, and it's like, "In this car, you can't do it." No, I'm losing my mind. She's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Not great," because I found out the one who created my car is a freaking moron. Like, I'm losing my mind over this. But
don't you drive a Subaru?
I do drive a Subaru.
You need
We all
to
knew
get a
Spencer
better
was a
car.
lesbian.
He is driving the lesbian
it's
mobile.
it's the thing you always say, Eli. I'm a lesbian in a man's body.
I just didn't take it down. Yes.
Um,
I,
Oh
but
man,
it's not a Subaru Outback. That's the lesbian car. That's like the
okay.
super lesbian car. But no, I was getting
Here's the
furious about
Subaru
that.
in back.
But then you get a newer car than that, and you have to deal with the freaking computer. You have to. I mean, you can't.
Oh, do you want to talk about my Fiat real quick?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
You
talk
drive
about
a-
your Fiat,
you
please.
drive a Fiat.
Some of the stuff you've told me
Yes.
is like, this is exactly why I'm not buying a car newer than 2010 or no, newer than 2015.
So-
Mine is.
With my Fiat, I have a problem where if I don't run it for more than so the battery has a splitter in it. So half the battery's power goes to starting the car. The other half of the battery's power goes to running the computer that runs 24/7. There's no stop lock in it to be like, hey, you used half the battery's power, I can't start the car.
that just sounds like poor design.
that is
Yeah.
a poor design.
And I guarantee
I have to
it's
replace the
intentional.
battery every 8 months in that car.
You see, Eli, you need to downgrade, which is actually an upgrade. You need to get yourself a 2010 Toyota Corolla.
Eli.
Look,
Eli.
I know it's a big joke, but they work.
They
I
do
know.
walk.
Disconnect the battery. Like, just
I thought about that, but you have
Just
to
every
understand.
night
have
when
you
you
ever, have you seen the inside of my not my smart car, but my Fiat?
Yeah,
I need you to take a picture of your Fiat and send it.
yes, I have seen the inside of your Fiat.
I have not. I need to.
Let me go through my camera roll. I might have a picture of my Fiat somewhere.
Make sure it's one that doesn't have the license plate. Just
Then
No,
the,
no. Include the license plate, please. Specifically,
include
I
the,
need
include
the
the
license
plate.
plate.
And go ahead and set your driver's license next to that, and your home
Yeah, that
address,
do that too for me.
and your
Yeah.
social
Then
security
then
the-
number.
oh,
me,
No
I
reason.
have.
Eli, can I get the name of
That's
your
the
first
thought-
pet and your mother's maiden name?
What are the 3 funny numbers on the back of your credit card?
2700.
What?
I have a picture of Spencer holding a possum.
Spencer.
I want to see that.
A Spencer of Spencer. You know.
I can send a picture of said possum. That is
I
not
do want
me
to see a possum. Good.
holding
Yeah.
it.
Put the possum in the chat.
I have a photo of my cat. Do I really not
And
have
then
a
there's
single
me. I'm
photo
over
of my
here.
car?
That's quick. I'm over here on a 2012 Chevy Colorado.
Imagine being able to drive.
I mean, hey, I didn't have my driver's license until I was 20.
I
I've
know.
been trying to get
Not-
mine, but
Not for
complicated reasons have stopped me.
not
The way Eli said that is the pains of a chauffeur.
I
Hey, Razor, you know all about that.
yeah,
Yes, I do.
Eli does know about that, but I had a legitimate reason. I was having seizures, so you can't drive for 6 months after having a seizure. So I was just like, there's no point in me getting a license and paying insurance when I can't even drive. So that's my excuse.
Well, I also have a current problem with my license plate that I have to go change out my license plate.
Ah, there's the picture of the possum I was looking for.
Because I've had my license plate for 10 years, so here in Florida, you have to change it out every 10
I
years.
have to go run an
Really?
errand.
Yep.
Golly.
My razor.
So I have to
I
pay
will
for a
be
new
back.
license plate.
All right.
Y'all need anything from the Dollar General?
Yeah.
Could you
give
pick me up
a
a?
give me a Mountain Dew. The like
Could you
pineapple.
give me
Dr.
a root
Eddie
beer?
out back, he has a handle of cocaine that I need. I do not have a photo of my car. That is his
I will be back.
Could you give me a root beer? Where I live, so you can get me a root beer.
I have photos of me
Yeah.
half dressed.
Sadly, I don't got
Eli,
root beer money. I will be back.
Shut up.
How much, Eli? How much for that photo?
What's for that photo? Oh, I gotta.
Free if you attend our holiday party.
Sure. Yeah, we went from political to possum.
Yeah, political
Yeah,
possum real
Repo.
quick. No, that's Eli has a holiday party at his work, and it's like a white elephant, and he always puts in a picture of himself dressed in like
In very
a smoking
scandalous
robe and
clothes.
a smoking jacket, and like, or the one he did this year was a Santa hat draped over his junk with nothing else.
No, it was a sexy Santa outfit that did not fit me.
How
I was
have you
basically
not-
in a Santa
It's-
onesie that was baggy in certain areas and not
Oh.
baggy in other areas.
How have you not been like sued for this?
Because his HR manager thought it was funny.
Yep. My HR loved the idea so much that they asked me to do a full year photo shoot
They wanted a calendar.
so they could hang it in their. Yeah, they want a calendar to hang in the HR office.
So they just have a calendar of you?
They want it done for their Christmas this year.
Never
and I'm
mind,
like,
it turns out my dad's going instead. I'm back.
Yeah, I can't get that
Nice.
root beer.
I have, and I think I'm actually going to do it for him because it's really funny to me.
Do it. See if you can get some money out of it or something.
Wait, what?
If you're gonna sell your body, don't sell it free.
Listen, by now we should all know that I'm a cheap whore.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
I agree with Eli on trying to get these podcasts taken down. Just the it's just mine and Eli's goal now.
Oh, I could get this podcast taken down real quick.
Same.
Please don't. This is my channel. I just got to
Jeez.
420 subs. Like I got to the sick weed number. Like can we not?
So close to 500.
Do you know how much I've sacrificed? Oh, I posted the picture of my parents'
possum?
dog and the possum.
So like, where did the possum come from? I know we're getting off
So-
topic, but I'm very curious about this possum.
My mom and my sister found a group of baby possums that were abandoned. Out like
Oh.
I don't remember where I think it was near their house, but it was like legitimately they were like, okay, the mom will probably come back, and then the mom never came back. So they were like, okay, well, we gotta like take care of these possums, turn them in, or something, and then they were just gonna take care of them for a bit, and then be like, all right, let's give them away, and then they were like, okay, they're actually really cute. They ended up giving one away. They gave away two of them. I don't remember who they gave them to, but that's the one they kept. Really sweet, actually. Like, I gotta say, it's a really sweet pet. I didn't. I'd never interacted with a possum before that, but it's
I have.
really fun. Like I got a video of it eating a wheat thin, and a tortilla chip. And the way it's just like sniff, 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 and then it it's actually got opposable thumbs, so it just straight up grabs it from you, like clutches it in its hand, and it's just like, all right, cool, and then just devours it. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's why I have interacted with a possum.
Mine was in a car.
Yeah.
Going way too fast.
Very odd, very odd. I couldn't. We have too many dogs for that, and even then, if we found some possums, we couldn't. My mom would freak out.
That's the big dog is a Great Pyrenees, which is a like herd dog, and so it's like she's very big and she can throw her weight around, but she's also very gentle. Like with with the possum, she's always curious. She's like, oh, I want to follow it around, but she's not like, she doesn't, try and mess with it. She doesn't try and bite it or anything. She's just like, okay, here's this little creature.
Strange ass cat.
Yeah, pretty kinda, except my parents' actual cat, that dog beefs with hardcore. Like the cat will run up and just like smack her in the face multiple times, and she'll get up and jump around and come after the cat. And up until recently, she was just like, she'd like hit the ground in front of it with her paw. Now she will full on wheel back and just slap the cat in the top of the head with a paw that's the size of the cat's head. The funniest thing
when
watching.
we were rehabilitating the raccoon at my house.
Yeah.
The dogs thought it was just a weird cat, so they treated it like a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is that not what raccoons already are?
I mean, kinda.
Like,
except a weird cat that can open doors.
And
I forget they can do that.
Picks things up and like actually holds them and then waddles on their back legs.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience because when you have other cats around a raccoon, especially raccoon growing up, it immediately goes, I'm one of them, and acts like a cat. It's hysterical.
Have you seen the video of the raccoon that the guy hands him cotton candy? And raccoons
and he dips it in the water, and
he dips it in the water and it disappears, and the raccoon looks so sad. It's like, where'd my food go?
Oh no!
The cotton candy, it's gone.
I don't think you should give a raccoon cotton candy, anyways. I feel like
no, but I
feel like most of our candy is not meant for animal consumption.
I don't think they would even eat it because they wash it first, so they can't wash cotton candy. It just disintegrates.
I've seen raccoons eat anything, so don't. Working around restaurants for so long, you step out back and just see a posse of raccoons hanging out. You're just, cool. Dumpsters empty now. Because they will go pull trash bags out of dumpsters.
Yeah, typically when they're doing that, though, they're grabbing, like, pizza and...
I mean, they're called trash pandas for a reason.
The funniest experience I ever had with a raccoon was I was taking trash out to the dumpster, and I was checking my phone because I was just out there. I was like, I got nothing better to do. I don't want to go back inside right this moment. And I felt tugging on my jeans, and I looked down, and there's a trash panda tugging on my jeans, begging for food. I jumped
That's a problem.
Well, the other thing with this particular raccoon is he was called Chungus because he was so fat he couldn't climb up into the dumpster anymore.
Oh my gosh!
Dang.
So he would have other raccoons drop food for him.
Put him on the diet, please.
He got taken away by a owl.
An owl?
How? That was a strong owl.
That owl
aren't small.
Can you send a picture of Chungus if you have one?
I don't. That was like 4 phones ago.
You missed a golden opportunity. So does your photos not transfer between phones? Like I still got photos back when I had an iPhone. We
Hey
are so
Spencer,
off
can you
topic.
explain how bad I am at technology real quick?
Eli is the equivalent. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone who fought in World War II has a better grasp of technology than Eli.
Oh. Oh, Eli.
Eli makes me feel like I'm dealing with a 90-year-old all the time.
amount of things that he's just like, how does this work? The funniest freaking story that I've heard of. I think I was at work, which is why I was not involved in this phone call, but it was Tyler calling Eli, asking him how to set something up on his computer. And if I remember correctly from the recount of the two of you, it was an hour-long call that got you nowhere.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
Because,
Tyler's
like,
not super
I was like,
tech savvy, but he also doesn't use
I was like-
computers much.
I know how to use cords. I'm like, I can get you cords to plug in. I got switchers and stuff like that.
Oh,
to make
that's what it was about. Because I gave him the monitor that had a display port instead of an HDMI.
You know, I remember joining the Discord, and I think, where was it? It was the help section. I remember seeing that conversation.
Yeah, that conversation started there to turn into an hour-long phone call. Oh.
Yep. An hour-long phone call of me and Tyler going back and forth, not knowing a single thing about technology. I'm trying to have him describe what the port looks like, and he's like, a square. Cool, what kind of square? Oh, it's not a square. It's a trapezoid. I kind of guessed that. But, no, you just need to... I'll send you a photo. Sends me multiple photos, all blurry. I'm not good with technology, mainly because when I was really into, like, learning was when Windows 10 first came out. And I learned everything I needed to know about Windows 10. And then I was working a job that requires zero technology use. And I was like, cool, I will never use this again.
And then he proceeded.
And
to
then they
use it again.
kept updating things and makes me feel stupid.
See, like,
I have books at my house like Excel for Dummies.
It's not helping.
See, like, there's certain things like that. Like, yeah, I've not really ever used Excel all that much. I've used it a little bit. I know you can get way more complex than I ever did with it, but, like, yeah, there are certain things like that that
I'll be right back.
I don't understand how to do. But some of the questions that I get asked, I'm just like, are you serious? Like, what do you mean you're having a problem with that? What problem is there? I don't even well, it's not doing this. What do you mean it's not doing that? Like, literally, you just open it and it does that. Oh, but the program has this error message. How did you get that error like, it's the most ridiculous. My OBS isn't working. What did you do? Nothing? You had to have done something. Like, my OBS has worked since I downloaded it. What did you
do?
With the settings? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't work. It'll capture video, but then not capture audio. But then I get it to capture audio, and it won't capture video. I'm like, how did you even do that?
How do I even do what?
It's just was it you or was it one of you was having issues with OBS?
That's probably me.
Yeah,
Hands
probably.
down.
Because I feel like it was like, it's capturing audio, but it's not capturing video. I'm like, did you change the display capture? Like, what did you do? And you're like, display capture? What is that? I'm like, it's the thing in sources. Sources? I'm like, dude, it's on the bottom of the OBS. It's on the page. What do you mean? Like,
yeah, that would be me.
It's giving me this error message, and I'm just like, I don't even know I've never seen that before. Like the amount of times you and Tyler have baffled me with things that I didn't even know the software could do. I'm like, what did you do to it?
I'm incredibly good at breaking technology.
You just download it and launch it, and that's it. Like, what? How did you manage to break it?
OBS just popped up, funny enough, as soon as you started talking about it with, hey, we need to update. I was like, okay, you have skipped the past 12 updates for OBS.
Yeah, maybe that's why you're having a problem with it. 12 updates?
12 updates. I don't.
That's like
No,
8 months worth of update. That might be longer.
That's more updates than I have dollars.
Wow, it looks so much better!
Wow, what would have thought? When you update the program, it actually functions the way it's intended. It's unbelievable.
I think the only program on my computer that I haven't updated in a comparable length is Fruity Loops, but that's because I technically don't own the license to it, and you need the license to update it.
The thing that I'm running out of time to upgrade on is I'm still on Windows 10.
Oh.
Yeah,
you might want to.
I've heard a lot of bad things about Windows 11, and I'm like, I really don't want to go up to Windows 11 because I'm already kind of sick.
You
of
have
Windows.
until October.
Yeah.
Just install Linux and
I was
then
about to say
watch break because you delete one single number in the
do
code.
You check what version of Windows you have?
When you go, oh my gosh. Okay, bottom left corner, hit start, go up 2 symbols.
Okay.
Oh, somebody grab his ID.
Okay, no, I'm on Windows 11. It tells me that I have a restart pending.
No, I can't with computer operating systems anymore. Like, you either try to go with Windows and it progressively gets worse and worse, or you try Linux, and then, as I've seen with my eldest brother, who's a freaking computer software major, every time he comes down, he spends like 90% of the time working on getting Linux to fucking run properly.
Oh, yeah. That's the issue with Linux. I think I'm going to do Linux on my next
He swears up and down by it, but I'm like,
you have to. That's the thing. You have to know what you're doing with Linux.
Yeah, this is why I'm gonna do Windows on my next build. Well, on my
I feel like
build.
he should know something because he's been doing this same dance for like 8 years now. I still don't know how he doesn't have it running. It's been 8 years. It's the same laptop. Nothing changes other than an update every now and then. Like, I don't know what he's doing
What's
to
Linux?
it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know either.
It's a different operating system from Windows. It's one that lets you it gives you more control over your computer than Windows or
So I should never install that ever.
No,
that's what you're saying.
No, because
very
the
much
thing
for
is,
advanced computer nerds.
So you can absolutely get versions of Linux that are less customizable, so you're less likely to screw up anything. But yeah, there are certain versions of Linux where it's like you type the wrong thing and you just essentially delete your computer. Like
yeah. Like fun fact, the Steam Deck is Linux.
Yes, the Steam Deck is Linux, but it's a lot more.
I thought that would be on Windows.
Steam Deck runs off. I don't remember the actual version of Linux Steam Deck runs off of, but
it runs off its own custom Steam OS.
Yeah, that's right. It is the Steam OS. That's something I might look into actually. But because the Steam OS it's Linux, but you're not monkeying with the code as much.
Okay. So I should not have control over the computer is what you're telling me.
No.
Yes, pretty much.
Because
for him, it makes sense.
Because the thing is, the thing with Linux is Linux allows you to access the root level of your system very easily. And
don't know what that means.
So computers operate on a multi-level system. what you're interacting with normally on your computer is level 3. There's other terms for it, but essentially it's what you see when you're interacting with your computer. There are 2 other levels, 2 and 1, that are less used nowadays. They used to be more important on older computers, but typically most things are either running in level 3 or at root level. But
like, is the level 2 and 1 like how in the Fallout universe they've got the green text when you try to hack into the terminal? I don't know what it was called, but I've seen videos of it on the old Macintosh computers, where it had all the lines of code and you could type in stuff to get things to work.
It's something. I mean, that's kind of just the console, but I know less about levels 1 and 2. Because they're not really commonly used anymore
right now.
Don't worry, Eli. I also feel a little stupid. Computers were never the technical side.
Yeah.
Computers were not my strong suit.
I almost went into that, but then I swerved into music. Like, I did like a full 180 away from computer science.
Now that I have tricked you with the funny anime woman, let's talk about computer science.
Can we talk about books or something? I know those.
Gosh. But basically, what the root level, or there's root level, kernel level, level 0. There's different terms. It is all it's essentially the brain of your computer. Like, it's where everything is being stored and everything is running at that base level. And it's how certain software affects your computer, like everything. It's like when you see root level anti-cheat, that's getting access to everything that is on your computer. That anti-cheat is going deeper than you're allowed to on Microsoft systems.
I remember that. Back there's a reason I got out of a league for a little bit. Me and my older brother. I'm no longer back into league. I will say that. But I was into it for a little bit to play with my older brother. I got out.
Don't go back.
My older brother didn't. I don't intend to. But he's been playing for years. But he got out of it because a Riot put in a system, their new anti-cheat that could do that, go further, and he didn't trust it.
Yeah.
Like everybody in my family.
Stuff like that's the reason I don't play Borderlands anymore.
You know.
Yeah. That's why I want to build my next computer, my legit computer on Linux, because you can run virtual machines, install the game on the virtual machine, and then it gets root level access to the virtual machine, which means nothing. And you can play the game that way. So that's part of the reason I want to do Linux, just because I can run games in that and they won't have any of my information, because I despise kernel level anti-cheat.
I'm just happy to be here.
Same. Me and Eli are just comic relief. We're just here.
I will say this. The best operating system I think I've ever used or worked on is the Chromebook one.
Cool.
Really? I despise Chrome OS.
Chrome OS is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen.
I love it.
In the computer
It's like Windows 98, man. It's so easy to use.
It runs as fast as Windows 98.
True. Everything's browser based on it, though.
I had to code on that stupid thing in high school, and it was a nightmare.
That's diabolical. What were you using? Scratch?
No, we were using a freaking coding website that had pre-built Java code blurbs we had to drag and drop. And they expected us to actually
really
learn how to
scratch.
code from that.
Code.io, I think, is what it was called.
Yeah, it sucked. I hated it. Especially when I got into actually coding, and I'm like, dude.
I also took that class. I think I had 0%.
It brought me to a music list, a list.
Yeah.
I clicked that in.
What the heck? Yeah, it did.
So, yeah.
I think that website
was it code.org?
Maybe.
It might have been
I think-
code.org.
Because this looks like an education-based site.
Yeah.
It was
I
code.org.
slept in that
That's the
class.
one. That's the one.
Okay.
I was about to say, I don't know if a school was using an .io website.
So
That's
me
a little-
and Razor, whenever anything coding related happened in our time in school, his time in school, still didn't having mine, we had a place called Scratch, which is a lot like code.org, but a lot less restricted because someone managed to put the entirety of the FNAF game on there. Like every single FNAF game.
So Scratch is like originally made by like MIT students, and it's a children's coding tool.
Okay.
But it's interesting. You can play crap like there's a port of Getting Over It on it.
Yeah.
And I remember my 8th grade year, everybody was playing that.
I'm aware of Scratch. I knew there was a kid in class who was using that while we were doing the coding. I passed the coding class. I didn't pass the AP exam because we didn't learn freaking crap about actually coding. Because it was all pre-built.
Oh, you took an AP coding.
Yeah.
AP Computer Science.
AP Computer Science.
AP Comp Sci.
The only AP class my high school ever had was AP English, and they don't even have it anymore. I was the last class to take it.
We had
AP
Lit.
Language Arts and AP Literature.
Technically, it was AP Language Arts, if you want to be
then,
technical with it. But I took it in place of my English 3.
It's. I hate to break the news to you. That was like English 102, not English 101 for college. So it had nothing to do with.
Razor, while I can remember and still have the brain capacity before it fully dies out on me, DCI season started up again.
I know, I'm excited.
No, they've already got a bunch of the early seasons posted.
Oh yeah, no, I've watched Bluecoats. They're over here like, what the hell is DCI?
Sorry.
Because I know they were people in mute. I know y'all did like orchestra, but that's not really marching band.
Yeah, I'm not recalling. It was also
Dominatrixes conferring McCarthyism?
No. DCI is Drum Corps International. It is professional marching bands.
Except they don't scout you. You have to pay like $2,000. Like you have to pay about $150 just to try out, and then once you make it, you got to spend about $2,000 on a plane ticket. Because there's like none around where me and Razor live, and most of them
There's
are
a few
the
in
upper
Texas.
states. There's like a few, but they're the smaller ones. You want any of the bigger ones? You got to go to like California, Illinois.
Yeah,
Michigan.
but when
Why
I
did you
tell
go,
you these
ugh,
bands are
Illinois?
good,
should have gone
They are-
Because it's
California.
Illinois.
That's
me and
Because
Cheese
it's
have been to a
Illinois.
live show of DCI, and it is jaw-dropping how good it is.
I got up to go. Me and Ray got up to go get some snacks, and the first band was about to start because they opened it right as it started. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. And then we get up and they play their first note, and I almost fell over because it felt like I got hit with a brick of just sound. I'm not even lying. Eli, time for a joke. Make a joke. I don't like the silence.
Make a
Eli,
joke.
Make a joke.
We
do
are
the-
Eli,
so
do the
off
funny.
topic.
Eli,
Yes.
make the funny.
Make it funny.
It's your whole
Make
job.
the funny.
A pun walked into a bar and killed 10 people. Pun in, 10 dead.
I don't get it. I'm stupid.
Pun. God, no, that was like. Hold on.
All right, let's move on to the next topic.
That's what you call
Let's
it.
stop site.
Did you also not get?
No,
I got it.
I fully got it. I fully got it. That's why I had such a stunned
You're talking to the
silence.
pun You're talking to the pun master general over there.
Gosh,
He puts all dad jokes to shame with his humor.
I'm not the pun master general. I'm just the pun corporal.
The pun corporal.
I'm stupid, and almost every joke will go over my head, which sucks because explaining them makes them 1,000 times worse.
Did you know that why did the chicken cross the road is a euphemism for being killed?
No. Can you explain? No. You don't get to sit there and be quiet. You got to explain this now.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. The other side, you die and go to wherever you go afterwards.
Well, that was not as complicated as I thought it would be, and that makes so much sense.
See,
Spencer's sitting there with his head in his hands going, I hate this man. I don't know how I've managed to stay friends with him for so long.
Why am I hosting a podcast with him?
If I could, I would go over to his house right now with a baseball bat and break every bone in his body.
Eli, if you're going to pull out jokes, you have to pull out actually funny jokes, man. Come on.
He's getting fed up with the three of us.
I'm getting fed up with Eli.
We just doubled the buffoonery. What do you expect?
It's just wow.
It is generationally bad.
Eli, you got to throw out a joke what do you call a cow that had an abortion? Decaffeinated.
No, that's evil.
What do you call a herd of masturbating cattle?
What?
Beef stroganoff.
My God.
These are incredible.
That's the jokes you gotta pull out, Eli.
What do you call a cow with 2 legs?
What?
Lean beef.
Lean beef. What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
That's ground beef. That's everybody knows that one.
I was gonna say you're pulling out the children versions of these. But anyways, so
well, before the silence kicks in, let's keep this going.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kind of continuing in the same vein of how egregious the game industry is right now. We have a new bundle that got announced for Borderlands 4. It's the Echo 4 bundle. A GameStop exclusive, $150. But listen to all the stuff you get. You get this cool cloth map of is it Kairos or is that Kairos?
Let me pull it up.
It's Kairo. It's literally like
Kairos?
Kairos. Yeah, I think it's Kairos.
Kairos. Okay, they took the city in Egypt. They changed one word or one letter and then added an S at the end. Good job. You get a shift code card for 5 whole golden keys in Borderlands 4. Wow. You get a vault symbol necklace with a 21-inch chain. Look at that. You get an Echo 4 figure with LED lights. I don't even know what that is, but he's 20 centimeters tall, so that's cool, right? You get a set of 4 double-sided lithograph art prints of the 4 Vault Hunters. Check it out. And that's it. You notice anything?
I want to play the game, Crumpet.
Well,
the game?
How unfortunate that you actually want to play the game this is associated with, because the game is sold separately. Believe it or not, okay, I'd like to point out they at least did better on the website, but in the announcement image, just down here in the corner, game sold separately. Borderlands 4 not included. Is required to redeem golden keys. Shift codes must be claimed by October 31st, 2030. Wow, that's not much time at all.
No, especially with the modern state, the game will probably be down by 2030.
Oh, yeah, it probably won't even be accessible. That's probably what that means. They're shutting the game down before on that date, so you can't use them anymore. But yeah, check it out. Games sold separately. they have a $150 exclusive bundle where the game isn't even included. What is this
Razor.
industry? Like,
Razor, do you remember a certain thing I said when Borderlands 4 got announced?
Oh, what, the cost of trilogies?
The curse of trilogies when they become an anthology. Whenever the curse of trilogies typically in the gaming industry starts out like this. The first game is pretty alright. It's fun, but it could be better. You get to the second game. The second game is amazing. They've hit every single spot just right. The gameplay is fun. The art style is amazing and memorable. Dialogue, everything is amazing. You get the third game. They don't know what to improve on, so they try to make it as good as the second game, but they just can't. It's hard to reproduce those results. And usually you end it right there. You have yourself a pretty alright game series. One that'll be remembered for quite some time. Every now and then you get the one that all three games are good, or all three games are bad. But when you break them into an anthology, the fourth one will always be the worst game possible.
Unless the series is called Resident Evil.
Unless
I'm
it's
just gonna
Resident
say
Evil.
that.
I don't know how. There are exceptions.
yeah.
There are some exceptions. I will say that, but
Halo.
for the majority of it, you see them. The fourth game brings about its death.
Halo.
I'm
funny.
calling it Borderlands will die with the fourth game.
It's funny. I was just talking with Tyler about this yesterday because I was like, I'm playing the whole OG Spyro trilogy. Well, not the OG. It's the remastered trilogy, but still. It's Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. Personally, I think they just got better as those three went on, but some people think the second's better. Whatever. I think all three of those are bangers. Then they released Spyro Into the Dragonfly. Still solid, but not as good as the originals. Spyro A Hero's Tale. That one was a little weird, but I think it was still alright. And then they had the like new edgy Spyro that was in the late 2000s. That was, I mean, not bad games, but it wasn't Spyro. But I mean, it's the same principle. Like, you had the first three, and then it just starts to get a little bit worse over time.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
that's something
to a
that
lot
has
of the
me
90s ones.
worried for a series like The Witcher, because we're supposed to be getting The Witcher 4 in the next few years.
Like, it takes a
And-
very special team and a very special community to be able to consistently produce hit after hit.
I can offer up
Bungie.
another interesting exception of the rule. Because, you know, you guys mentioned Halo, you mentioned Resident Evil. Those are pretty much like, oh yeah, they're all good. Obviously, Resident Evil 5 and 6 is where it gets dicey.
They're still good. They're still good. Okay, I am an active defender of Resident Evil 6. I admit the game is not as good as the other ones, but by God, do I find it to be the funnest out of it.
Oh yeah, it can absolutely still be fun. And then Halo was good until 4. But you have to consider
4 was still decent.
4 was mid. I played
really
4. It
don't
was
like
so mid.
4 that much.
And I heard 5 was god awful.
Oh, 5 is garbage.
I'm a diehard Halo fan. I have Halo tattooed on my body. It is permanently there. It will never go away.
Can
I played the first mission of Halo 5, booted out of it, and went and played multiplayer, and that's all I played.
I don't blame you. The Halo 5 campaign was dog shit.
Halo 4, I at least played through the entire campaign.
Not
Halo...
not a good campaign. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Halo CE, all the way through. Halo 2, all the way through. Halo 3, all the way through, plus online. Halo ODST, all the way through. Halo Reach, all the way through, plus online. Halo 4, all the way through, plus online.
Okay, now I actually have to go. I'll hopefully be back.
All right. We probably
Don't do too many drugs.
We probably won't still be going at that point, but
do all of them. I don't care. Have fun.
You know what? I will quickly send Cheese my quote if I'm not here to say it.
Oh, I guess I also need to find a quote too. I completely forgot about that. I haven't watched a Bardic Blunders stream in so long. I've been completely caught up in other things.
I see, Cheese. Razor's the real fan of us.
Razor also doesn't do as much as I do.
I don't do as much as Spencer does, and I still don't.
I work. I get caught up in things. I have life.
Yeah.
I have a life, unlike this man.
I unfortunately do as well.
Yeah, Spencer makes it to all of his streams.
No, I don't.
Well, I wonder why.
No, I don't.
Okay, now that Razor's gone.
I promise streams, and then I'm just like, I don't know if I'm
he's dead.
Oh boy. But I completely forget what we were even talking about.
How shitty Borderlands is.
Oh yeah, Borderlands. Oh yeah,
here's
I was
the
gonna
thing.
say Dark
I would buy
Souls-
that bundle. I would buy the Borderlands 4 bundle if it came with a single shot musket round that I could shoot any Gearbox employee.
Randy Pitchford. Shoot Randy Pitchford. 10 times out of 10. That man is a psycho.
Oh, really quickly, because more reason of why I can't catch streams. One of our dogs just got out the gate and killed a bunch of our chickens. I'll be back.
And then there were 2.
This is why I cannot catch streams. I'm just...
Oh, okay.
Sounds like they're having chicken for dinner over there.
Apparently. A lot of chicken. Well, anyways, yeah, Borderlands sucks, and that was pretty much the gist of that one. It's just unbelievable. It's more insulting than AAA game space because I just can't believe it. Also, I'm not gonna like freaking hang my hat on this or anything, act like I'm a freaking clairvoyant or anything like that. But at the same time, I freaking called it. I called it. Just to dog on Pirate Software a little bit more right here for no reason. So literally the same day that I made the claim that Pirate Software would probably be like, puh, I helped the movement, actually. He made a post later that night saying that exact thing. I'm not joking. Later that night, the most interesting narrative is that my videos somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did, though. Best of luck with your next steps. He freaking, like, he's delusional. He's actually insane. I can't believe that I was right. I want to be happy, but frankly, I'm stunned. Like, what are we doing? Absolutely bonkers. But anyways, yeah, that the stop killing games thing was really the big thing this week. It's just shocking to me the way this is all going. But I think the fact that Video Games Europe is so strongly opposed to this means we're doing the right thing, because it means taking money out of their pockets and actually helping the consumer. So, frankly, let's get those numbers up. You should hate these companies. Now, I'm an advocate of not hating people. Not hating people, because I mean that would be against the Christian message to say, oh, you should hate this person. But if you look at a faceless corporation and just say, oh, look at what they're doing, yeah, you can hate that corporation because you understand that corporation hates you. Now,
what's that quote that I've been so fond of saying here recently?
What is it?
Every day, we dream of every day that we need to make it towards a solar punk future, but yet every day we take another step towards cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it's heading in a rough direction. But
this is completely off topic, but since we've been derailed quite a bit this episode,
yeah, of course,
as we always are, I saw a post, I don't remember where, it was probably on Instagram, about somebody complaining that they needed all of this stuff to live. Like, they needed their phone, they needed this, they needed that, they needed all this stuff to live. And I don't know if it's just me. You might have to tell me if it's just me or not. But I was sitting there like, man, nearly everything that you said was completely useless to me.
Oh, no, that 100%. Yeah. Saying you need your phone to live? No, you don't.
I need my phone. I need my earbuds. I need my makeup stuff. I need this. I need that. I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Now,
no,
I do understand I live a very minimalist lifestyle.
Well, I mean, but you have to think, like, do I use my computer on a regular basis? Yes. Do I use my phone on a regular basis? Yes. Do I use my coffee maker and my bed and my car on a regular basis? Yes. But do I actually need any of those things? Not really. You can live a life without all of them.
I was sitting there like, if I could do any social experiment ever, it would be to take 100 people and just give them nothing. They get food and 3 meals a day and enough to drink, and just stick them in a cabin somewhere and go for a year. See how long before they all break.
Oh, I guarantee you most of them break in the first month. And I
could see some making it longer, especially like poor individuals that are like, room and board and food.
Come on, OBS. There we go.
Yeah, I saw it.
But yeah, and I mean, I have to be honest. I'd probably be in one of those people that would drop out pretty quick. I could probably figure out how to entertain myself. Like, if we're assuming just in the woods. But
in the woods, on a beach, I don't really care.
Yeah, there's a lot of modern day comforts that a lot of the first world is used to having. Like, I was listening to this. It was pretty interesting. It was a guy, he was preaching and he was talking about being over in I forget where it was, but it was somewhere where they can't openly practice Christianity because they'll be rounded up and arrested or killed. And he was like, they have these meetings that last literal days where they all gather together. They don't have any Bibles. They all have to memorize the Bible to be able to recite it to each other. They can't even get paper scraps because those get taken away. So the only way they have the Bible is by having it in the only way they can't take it away, which is memorization. And they'll literally just sit there for a couple of days. They'll have, praise and worship, and they'll preach and they'll pray and they'll do all that. They'll sleep and then they'll wake up and they'll keep it going for a few days, and then go back to their regular lives. And the woman the guy was talking to, who was talking about being in prison and having to get the Bible on scraps of paper to memorize it, and then when they took those away, having to have the whole thing memorized in order to know what she was, studying, essentially. She said, pray for us that one day we can be like your country and practice it openly. And the guy responded, I'm not going to do that. Because if you saw the way it was in my country, we're not nearly as disciplined or as dedicated as you are. If church is a 20-minute drive away, that might be too far. If church service goes, 5 minutes
longer
over,
than
people
an
are
hour.
freaking out.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want you to be like us because you're doing so much more than we do. We have multiple Bibles a household and don't read it as much as we should. You guys literally memorized it because you can't have Bibles. So I'm not going to pray for you to be like us. I'm going to pray for us to be like you. And that's something I think a lot of the first world doesn't consider when they carry out their daily lives. There are people who are much less fortunate, much less privileged than we are. And, people can be like, oh, well, what about this news thing? And what about this and that and that? I gotta be honest, it's why I kind of get sick of all the, oh, hey, this politics thing is bad. And, oh my gosh, there's a war over here. Because it's like, you know what? Yes, that stuff is bad. But if you look at the place you are in, personally, even if you're struggling with money, like, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, most likely you are still richer than a majority of the world's population.
And so I saw this thing that was this was a while ago, so it might have changed. It was like 98% of the American population lives above the global poverty line.
Yeah.
Which is, and everybody's like, no, we don't. We can barely feed ourselves. It's like, there's countries that you go days without food.
Right.
And you just have to be like, that's life. And you move on. And I was like, I'm sitting there. It's because this whole post, I was like, yeah, I have a watch. Yeah, I have earbuds. But I don't need any of those. Give me 3 square meals a day and a place to sit and read, and I'm probably the happiest man on earth.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you should feel bad about what you have or anything like that. But it's just like, I've had people ask me why I'll talk about a personal thing. I kind of got screwed at my job a little bit. I tried to put in some restrictions for a health issue I have, and instead of giving me the position that I had applied for, that I totally would be able to do under my restrictions, they screwed me over and moved me to a different place. And I was taking it really poorly at first. And I thought about it more, and I'm like, you know what? I'm being straight up. I was like, I've been praying to get better at talking to people. And so I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is God answering my prayer and saying, hey, you want to get better at talking to people? There's not going to be any better way than working at the register and talking to people all day. I thought about it like that. And like, you know what? I should get myself out of this little doldrum. I need to show some more thankfulness for that. And I've got people like, oh, why are you so happy when you're stuck up front where you don't want to be? And I'm like, well, if I'm being honest, what reason do I have to be unhappy? I really don't. Yeah, I'm in a place I don't necessarily want to be, but is my life falling apart? No. Like, I shouldn't have to show up to work every day like I just watched my dog get shot.
I show up to work every day like that because I'm about to walk into. As I say every day, I walk into work. What new fresh hell am I walking into? And people find that very upsetting when I say that to them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
for me, it's become a matter of perspective. Like, kind of not. I want to make this clear. I'm not preaching the I can manifest it kind of thing that certain Christian denominations like to preach. Well, I forget what that actual group is referred
Pentecostal.
to. Is it Pentecostal?
I think it's Pentecostal.
Because, yeah, there's one of them that's huge into, if you speak it into existence, you know? Like, we have the power that God has if we just speak it into existence. Like, I'm not trying to do that. But you can definitely shift your own perspective on how everything's going. Like, if I walk into work and I'm like, this is going to suck, and I'm going to have a terrible day, then I'm going to have a terrible day. But if I'm like, you know what? Today might not be the best, but we'll make of it what we will. I typically have a better day, you know.
Another great quote, I prayed to God for a warrior to come and save me from my issues, and he told me to look at my own.
Yeah. It's the thing that I had to think about is when you pray for something, if God answers the prayer, he may not answer it in the way you exactly want it to be answered. Because, yeah, you know what? If I had my way, I would have just been zapped, and it's like I can talk to people super well now. That's not how it works. And that's not going to be how it works. Like, I'm not, there's nothing like that. Like, oh, well, what if this happened? Or how about this? No, I'm going to put you here, even though you don't want to be, but it's what's best for you. All right. And I think if people approached their situation with a little bit more acceptance, I guess would be the right term. And also you cut out a lot of the political discourse and the, like, yeah, you know what? It's very unfortunate that there's wars going on the other side of the planet, but you have to think they're going on the other side of the planet and they don't affect you on a daily basis in any material way. And if you
if you were being sent off to one of those wars, that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit on that one. Yeah, that's
something you can. Yeah, exactly. But when you're sitting here eating Chick-fil-A, scrolling TikTok, and you're like, oh, man, this conflict. I'm not gonna specify whichever one. But you're like, oh my gosh, there's a war going on over there. It's like, you know what? You can be concerned for those people and you can pray for the people involved in that war, but you're not one of the people involved in that war, so you shouldn't be being some nihilist about it. Like, oh my gosh, everything's gonna fall apart because there's a war somewhere else. Like, you can calm down about it. Like, yeah, there's moments to have that conversation, but you can also not let it absorb your daily life. You can just live.
Yeah.
I
might do as a goofy goofball as it is.
I mean, legit, like,
keep typing away on my computer.
What am I going to do to affect the situation at all? It's the idea that I've used a lot. Okay, there's a problem. Can you do anything about it? Yes? Okay, then you don't have anything to worry about. No? Okay, then you don't have anything to worry about. If you can do something about it, then do it and fix it. It might not be easy. It might take you a while. If it's, oh man, I need a better job, then yeah, going to school, not the easiest thing in the world to do, but there is a solution. If it's, you know, my car exploded, there's a solution somewhere. Yeah, it'll be stressful for a minute, and I'm not going to act like I don't get turned up in issues that don't mean all that much in the long run, because I absolutely do. I'm human. But the important thing is you can control a lot of that, and me personally, a lot of that stress is alleviated by knowing that God has a plan for me, and everything will be just fine. If my bank account is sitting at 98 cents and I'm hungry, I'll get food somehow. If I've got a bill coming up, I'm not sure how I'll pay, the money will be there, But anyways, I've done my daily preaching. I'm sure I could be doing better, but I'm trying.
Quote time?
I think it's about quote time.
I'll tell everybody what the mini game for the week is, and then...
Oh, yes. Okay, so everybody who is on the Minecraft server, the mini game we are doing this week is Monuments Men. We have 8 open slots, which I'm well aware we've had at most 4 players in all of the games so far. But hey, if anybody else wants to join, we got open slots. We will be.
All right, hold on. I'm back.
Oh, hey, look who's back.
Just to get my. I'm gonna be honest. I came back just to say my quote. I just made it back to a respectable range.
Fair enough.
Hey, perfect timing.
Signal. Gotta love the country.
Okay, I got my quote.
Go ahead.
But yeah, men grow tired of sleep, love, singing, and dancing sooner than they grow tired of war. Homer.
Nice.
All right.
Razor?
I'll go ahead and do mine. I must not feel. Feel is the mind killer. Feel is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my feel. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it's gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its past. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. That is by Frank Colbert.
Nice. I got...
I kind of fumbled through it, but...
To be a Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. C.S. Lewis.
Ooh.
Hi, APX.
C.S.
You
Lewis.
tuned in right at the end, my friend. I apologize.
Oh, the poor soul. That poor soul.
But I think that's all we got for today. I'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, wait, I get to say tally ho today.
Oh, you think we're not going to say tally ho?
No, I get to say it today.
Oh, you get to say it. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be playing Pokemon's Moon. I'll be continuing that, and then we got the Minecraft minigame on Thursday. So, thank you,
I may
everybody.
be streaming in the next couple of days because I'm working on something, and I mean, it's my typing streams, which are just me kind of sitting here quietly playing music and typing.
Be careful what music you play.
Well, yeah, tell me about it.
I can.
I already had that issue.
But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great rest of your night. Tally ho.
Tally ho!